Shawnee, welcome back. So I just wanted to sit down and do an eyeshadow look today. I only put on today the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm and a bit of powder, and I didn't even put on mascara. It was just real chill, and I had on my glasses today because it was a day. So, since the last time I saw you and you've seen me, the clocks went back, and so did the country. So that's been fun. Anyway, moving along. I am going to use the Adept Unity palette. This came out a while ago. I don't know. I just didn't get it then. But here is the palette. It has 5 mattes that I am curious to try out because Adept has seemed to really be finding their footing with their matte formula. And I was really intrigued by the color and the packaging because of how similar it is to Flying Fiddles. Now, I did do a video with this palette. I think I did several looks and they were all pretty. So yeah, check that out. But let me hold these two side by side. So really cute. And then I'll open them. They, in my opinion, are not the same, but maybe they are comparable. You tell me. Or complementary. That's the word. Comparable ain't the word. Okay, so not quite sure what I'm going to do, but probably something pinky, right? But I'll try to use a few of the shades to kind of get a sense of what they are like. I feel like Adept is pretty consistent in my experience of their formula. The only difference is, like I said, their mattes seem to be getting better or have gotten better. And a lot of their shimmers are like really, really smooth. Some are almost like putty, and then some are chunkier. It kind of just depends. They have a variety. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. And I will first start with the paint base eyeshadow base from Colored Rain, and this is in the shade Rope. And as I do that, I totes have a story for you because, you know, I was reading the news and I'm using the Jumbo Blender from Sonia G. Let's talk about 27-year-old Megan Clark. I really feel like I want to call her Megan, so that's what we're going to call her, Megan. I don't know why, I just feel like she's a Megan and not a Megan. So she's 27. I think, you know, there are some of us that have passed that age probably several times over. But you know, that's still young, okay? That's still young. I think my niece is about to turn 26 or something. And I was like, oh, you're a baby. But anyway, so Megan, 27, and she used to work at a bar as the manager of a bar on the Isle of Wight. Have you heard of that? Like, I feel like I have heard the Isle of Wight be mentioned so many times in the past, like, 6 months, whether in books, from people in conversation. And at first, I thought it was spelled W-H-I-T-E, because I'm like, what? But it's W-I-G-H-T. The Isle of Wight, like, can everybody go? Anyway, so Megan, let me make sure I have it, right? She met, while she was working, manager at the bar, Lord Underwood. Bertie. You know, my grandfather was called Bertie. He was charming, kind, thoughtful, real handsome. You know, she was like, oh, I am winning, okay? I just met me a lord, and I don't mean Jesus. I just met me a lord. And so he said that he is a descendant of John C. Underwood, who owned the company that sold the Underwood typewriter in the early 20th century. Who used a typewriter? Because do you remember using a typewriter? What? And you had to like, it was like, you typed, and then you had to like do the thing, but you know what I mean, okay? Or then you got the one that did it itself. Listen, I want a typewriter. That was just like, you know, the good old days. And you had to be on your P's and Q's, because if you switched a P for a Q, then you had to go in and either, hopefully you had the eraser thing, or you had to go in with some whiteout. Do people even know what whiteout is anymore? Child. We messed everything. You know, I'm not even gonna say we. Some people done messed everything up. Anyway, so, you know, Bertie is like a modern day aristocrat. Let's see. These are very interesting shades. I feel like I'd actually be less likely to use these, so maybe those are the ones I should use. This is actually, it's kind of weird, right? There's this sort of like pale mossy green, and then I don't even know what this is, like a tannish rosy, and then like mauve, pink, hot pink, and then this like dusty maroon or something. That's an interesting configuration that we've got there. I don't feel like this shade goes the, what is this? Moss. Didn't I say it was a mossy green? I don't feel like it goes with any of the other shades, but you let me know, because it could be that I'm not seeing it. Because I'm just thinking if I tried to, well, I have a thought. Okay. Just try some things out, but I'm gonna push myself to use that moss shade. Okay, so let me tell you about Bertie. So he was really wooing her, right? As one should. He would send flowers to her at work. He would like buy her expensive gifts from Harrods. Did I tell you? Yeah, the Isle of Wight. I told you this ain't in America. They would drive to London in his Bentley, okay? He was just like, I'm gonna show you a good time, babes, Megan. And yeah, let's just see where this goes. So, they went on like romantic dates, and he asked her to move in with him. Real soon after they done met, he asked her, they've been dating for 1 month. That's 1 month, okay? 4 weeks. That is like 28 to 31 days, right? And she was like, okay. Red flag number 1. Red flag. Where's my red flag? I don't have my red flag with me. Let me see if I can find it. At first I couldn't find it. I thought it's because I'd be ignoring them. But I have several of these, and sometimes with my clients, my therapy patients, I'll be like, red flag. Red flag on the play. Okay, so we had him asking her to move in after a month. Red flag. But also, you know what I just thought? Lord Bertie Underwood going into a bar? Do lords go to bars? I don't know. So, I mean, okay. All right, so they've been dating for 28 to 31 days. And then, I'm taking the shade Moss on a Sonia G Worker Pro. Basically, if you just have like, I don't know, like a paddle kind of brush that is like also fluffy, that's what I'm using. No particular reason. It's the first brush that I came upon. Okay. So they move in, and he has a 3-story seafront villa. Okay? So Miss Megan, she's just like moving up in life, all right? I ain't mad at you, Megan, until we get further into the story. 5 months after that, he asked her for her hand in marriage, and she accepted. It's always those stories where it's like a week later, we got married. Some of them work, okay? But I don't think that's the norm, right? Or let me know, okay? I just feel like, why you want to get married so fast? Especially at 27. Now, if they were older, I'm like, okay, like, you know, like, we done been through it. Like, let's go ahead and do this if we gonna do it kind of thing, right? Okay, so they start planning the wedding. Now, Lord Bertie, he was like, girl, I don't want you working no more. And so Megan quit her job at the bar where they had met because he didn't like her being around other men. How many red flags we got so far? Somebody count them, because this is another one, okay? What, 5? I don't even know. He didn't like her being around so many other men. And so because of her love for her fiancé, she was like, okay, I will quit. Now, he said he was a horologist. First, I was like, a horologist? Those are people who, like, fixes watches and stuff. I didn't know that that's what it was called. I feel I would have such a fun time being like, I'm a horologist. Listen, I am a fan, okay? So, you know, he's like, I'm making good money, I guess, when you design, create, and, like, fix watches. I don't know how much. I think you can make a good amount, especially if you're, like, restoring, like, old grandfather clocks and things like that. Let me know if you're super into that kind of thing. I find it kind of fascinating, especially since they're called horologists. So she joined his business. I don't know what that means. I don't know if she was the COO, CFO. I'm not sure. I don't know what joining his business meant for her. Maybe that's not a red flag. Yellow. Maybe that's okay. But as time went on, she started noticing stuff. Because I wouldn't be telling you about it if there wasn't some sort of shenanigan attached. So 18 months into the marriage, or I'm sorry, not even the marriage, into the relationship, 18 months, that's what, a year and a half. And she's now living with him. She's working at his business. I don't know what that means. I don't know if she's buying the screws to fix the watches or doing sketches. I'm not quite sure. I don't know. But she notices that there are letters coming to the house that are addressed to somebody else. And he's like, oh, it must be the people who lived here before, okay? Because that happens to me. I don't know why Martin Stewart don't come get his stuff. This person had to have lived here like 10, 15, 20 years ago. Come get your mail. So they were addressed to other people, you know, but he was like, oh, it must be the tenants that were here before, the people who own the house. Like, I don't know, maybe they didn't work with the postal office to, you know, change their address. Because you have to do that. You have to do it like a little bit ahead of time because it takes some time for them to do it. And so she looked at the names and I guess they kept coming. So that's what I should do. I should look up the name of this person. I had never thought of that. So she Googled those names because, you know, Dr. Google tell you everything. And what had happened actually is that she found a wallet full of credit cards. They were all different names. So should we say the letters are a red flag? I don't know, because the credit cards with other people's names, definitely. So that's when she got suspicious, and that's when she Googled the names, and she saw that they were all aliases for Robert Majeski, a convicted fraudster who just happened to look like Birdie Underwood, the Lord. Just happened to doppelganger, okay? And also, that's when she was like, oh, him saying that I can't post pictures of him on my social media. That makes sense now. Now, because people were looking for him. I don't know no, you know what? Well, let me know what you think. I can understand being with someone and, are you a spy? Like, I don't know. Child, that was a red flag that I didn't see. But in the past, me and Gier, we're good. Love him. So now she's like, okay, what's happening? And she realizes, oh, so he ain't a lord. He wasn't the descendant of the typewriter inventor. He had nothing to do with horology. And the car and the house they was living in, he was renting them. Not only that, he somehow put $40,000 worth of debt onto credit cards that he took out in her name. And then I guess she was like, well, let me at least go like pawn this engagement ring so I can get something back. Girl, you're not gonna get nothing because it's fake. Now this reminds me of, was it the Tinder swindler or something? But that guy who was just out here, well, there were a couple of them, right? But the one who was saying that he was this like big time surgeon and they were planning this big wedding and he was always traveling and he was like, the queen wants to come to the wedding. We're going to have it at the Royal Palace. And like, Obama going to be there. Like just everybody. I'm going to go into Live a Little, and this one is called Balanced Brown, but with like a question mark after. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So all of the ones on this side are balanced. Balanced Beauty, Balanced Bond, and then Balanced Brown. I'll have to do something that I probably will not like, and that I will probably take off. Okay. Let me see what else he said. I mean, I'm looking at his picture. I don't know if he's giving Lord. Okay, so 2 weeks before the wedding, Megan was like, hey, bud, here's all the info I found on you. And they said he didn't say nothing. He just turned around and walked away. I'm sorry. He mic dropped his way out of there 2 weeks before the wedding. First of all, where you go? You ain't gonna say, you're not even gonna say nothing. You just go peace out. Okay. Shade. And of course she's left heartbroken. And they're like, and she had no other option but to cancel the wedding. You think, Megan, was you gonna go ahead and marry this fraudster? Did you think he was, what did you think? It's not her fault, right? It's him fraudstering her. But also, this is why, okay, let me keep on going before. She said that she trusts people until they give her a reason not to. And he was just good at stuff. He didn't slip up. What do you trust until they give you a reason not to, or do you distrust until they give you a reason to trust? He just, so of course she went ahead and posted her story on the internet, and other people started contacting her like, girl, I was scammed by him. I don't know if he was telling everybody that he was a lord, but it seemed like he didn't have any clear MO. It didn't matter like gender, age. He was like, I am inclusive, okay? He was like, it's probably how she should have known that he wasn't. But yeah, he's like, I'll take anybody. I will scam anyone. Equal opportunity. He was later arrested on unrelated charges, but he managed to escape jail midway through his 5-year sentence. Just pieced out of the jail also, just like he pieced out on Megan. And of course, she's like terrified she's gonna run into him at some point. This man, like, I don't know. Like, how he escaped the jail? He scammed his way out of that. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go on with this shade, the Peaceful Path. I really don't know what I'm doing. Here's the thing. Okay, context. So, okay. Pivoting, right? I was reading something on Reddit, and there's like a subreddit or something where it's called like Texts, Texts, and you can upload like text and get like what is it called, like advice from people and stuff. And so this one person, I believe male, uploaded this text conversation between him and I believe a new romantic interest. And somehow or another, she basically revealed that she had looked him up, searched him out. And I think he said that he was feeling some kind of way about that. And low-key, many of the women in the comments were like, yeah. And let me tell you something. I do the same thing. I look you up. Because when I tell you, I have come across some folks that are lying through their teeth. There was one, like, people lie about their age all the time. And I know I sound like that sounds stupid, like, duh, girl. But I don't. And so I expect that other people don't either. But let me tell you something. I have dossier on people. Mainly people I date. Other people I'm like, wait, whatever. But I will look you up. I'll get the full itinerary of your life. So then when I ask you something and you're like, I'm like, oh, really? Not what this says. Let me know if you do that. If you don't, you kind of should. Like, out here in these streets these days with scammers like Lord Bertie, or what's his name? Robert Majeski. Robert Bertie. Okay, you know what? That makes sense. Because then he can remember his name. You know what I mean? I'm trying. Here's the thing. I'm gonna be like, so when we gonna meet these other, like, royals? Am I a lady now? Since you're a lord? Like, I would have questions. Like, and you know what? We can all be just, like, blinded by the romance of it all, the diamonds. He was definitely pulling a love bomb moment there. Like, let me just give you all this stuff. Oh my God, I'm so in love with you. Move into my home. It's a 3-story villa on the sea. And we're going to drive around in my Bentley. Girl, I got you. And let's go ahead and get married in, like, you know, like a year or so after we've met. Let's do it all. Here's the other thing. Does she have friends and family? Because what I have started to do, well, before, not anymore, is, well, no, still, make sure that I have people who will be like, that's a red flag, okay? Because you know what? When you have on rose-colored glasses, all the red flags just look like flags. So sometimes we do that. I'm including myself in there. Sometimes we just see what we want to see. You know? And I think Megan, I think she was doing that. I think that, and as well, I think she's young, you know? And she's young and she's nice and she wants to give people the benefit of the doubt. I think, I'm trying to think, do I trust people until they give me a reason to not trust them? Or do I not trust them until they give me a reason to. I'm not sure. Let me know which one you do. You know what? I think I might trust people until they give me a reason not to. Or what's that thing? Trust but verify. Oh, I learned, honey. This feels very Carnival. I learned. Yes, I will pay the extra too for the full thing. I want front and back at least 4 or 5 pages. I want to know everything from the moment someone stepped out of the womb to until today. I want to know everything because people be out here lying. I remember somebody got upset once because they full on lied about their age, okay? They added, they subtracted about 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I mean, there was another story where this guy, a little bit before his wedding, found out the lady he was about to marry was like 20 years his senior. Like, how y'all just be lying like that? That just feels like so much. I don't have time to be trying to pretend I'm younger. Like, that sounds like a lot of upkeep. You know, and I'm just trying to like walk myself up the stairs and I'm like, oh, walking like my age, but pretending I'm not. No. No. I don't have time for that. So, let me know what you think about Lord Bertie. Because he's shady as I don't know. And how he get out of jail? Listen, if you come upon somebody talking about their name is Bertie Underwood, don't say we didn't tell you to watch out. Or maybe try scamming him. See how that works. I just love the way he was like, I'ma just leave. Like, what? Like, he didn't care. You know why? Because he was not careful. He was not careful. You had the mail coming to your house, sir. You're supposed to intercept the mail. I'm going to go into Tranquil Tone. Just to like blend out some of that harsh line there because I used that really light primer and kind of took it all the way up. So I think it's just giving me a bit of not what I want. Have you ever been scammed like that? I haven't been scammed because I'm like, I ain't got money to give you. But I have been lied to. But child, there's a lot of open records. Like, I know that you got that ticket for going 65 and a 25, okay? When did you gonna pay it? And other stuff too. That they not gonna tell you about that. Okay. I don't know what we have going here, but we're just gonna go with it. I had a concealer. I think I dropped it. I thought I picked it up. Okay. Maybe not. Let's just grab another one. Okay, so I'll tell you this other quick story. Let me find it. Because this one, it's an interesting one. So you know how people don't have anything to do with their life and their time? So this guy in Las Vegas, let me see what his name is. Sean Greasley. He decided that he wanted to set a Guinness World Record. The amount of random things I've learned that people be setting records for is astounding. So here's what he had to do, and he streamed it on YouTube, so you can probably go find him and like see it. So he had to climb and descend a distance of 29,031 feet and 5.5 inches on the stairs in his home to match the height of the world's tallest mountain, which is Mount Everest. So this man, for 22 hours, 57 minutes, and 2 seconds, walked up and down his flight of stairs to climb and descend the equivalent of Mount Everest. Apparently, no one had ever done this before. So he's like, I decided to break this record because no one has done this before, particularly from sea level. Now, I will say that he was raising money for a very good cause. Very mental health related, you know, prevention, suicide prevention. And he's like, I was having a lot of mental stuff going on and the charity is close to my heart. So I can appreciate that. I feel like that is an amazing, like, amazing reason to do that. To raise money for this, you know, like, yeah, we need more money for prevention and mental health and good luck with that. So he said he switched it up though. He had his own rules. So he had different rules, and one of them was that he couldn't touch the banister while on the stairs. And he's like, you wouldn't have that on Mount Everest, so you're not gonna have it up in my house, okay? When I tell you, listen, I walk up maybe 10 stairs to get from the first floor to the second, and sometimes I need to have like a water station so I can take a break in the midst of it, okay? Like, I don't know, what's his name? Sean. I hate that name because I have somebody I don't like that has that name, so I'm gonna name him something else. Stanley? Yeah, let's go with that. Stanley said, I am in shape and I can do this. I don't know if he stopped. He had to have, right? Because he had to have, like, used the restroom. I don't know. I mean, it's on YouTube, y'all. So go ahead, like, watch it and let me know. Did he stop? I wonder. Right? I'm like, listen. I mean, back in the day when I used to run, you know, because I ran like half marathons and I ran a marathon, a full marathon. But I would have like my little pack, right? Where I had like some like energy snacks and different things like that, chapstick. I would need one of those plus the like water backpack. I would need that to walk up and down the stairs of my house. And he must live alone, okay? He must live alone because could you imagine? Could you imagine living with that person and they just walking up and down the stairs for a whole day? I mean, listen, Stanley, like I have to go. I have places to go, people to see, and things to do. He has to live by himself. He has to live by himself. Oh, no dogs or cat, nothing. It has to just be him, himself, and him in that house. You know what? Also, I want to know these people that watched him the whole time. For 22 hours, 57 minutes, and 2 seconds. Why? How do you search that? Are you just like live stream of weirdest Guinness World Record breakers? I don't know. Is it like... And how do you even come up with this? I'm just like, that's not the thing I would be like, yeah, I think I'm going to do that for the Guinness World Record thing. Because also, wait, when you submit, like, they have to confirm that, well, I guess they confirmed with his live stream of it, right? But you for sure have to confirm. And I wonder if they've officially told him, like, yes, you got it. But they be having things like loud as burp and longest, like, jump roping amount of time. Like, just these things that I'm like, never in life have I sat down with enough time to determine any of these. Like, how do you find the time? That's super creative. And some of them take a long time. If you're over here talking about the longest beard, the longest nails, this is a long con. Okay? You've been thinking about it. You've been thinking about it for a while. You better hope don't nobody beat you to it. I'd be so pissed if I'm over here like growing the longest nails and I'm like, whew, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and submit this tomorrow. And somebody else did it and like, no, I'd be so pissed. I would need them to just hold off on putting this out there because I want to do this and I want to be the first submission. Like, because wouldn't you be so pissed? I'd be so pissed if they were like, actually, we just got a submission yesterday. The nails are longer than yours. Okay, I've talked enough. I'm going to go ahead and put on some blush and bronzer or something. Just clean everything up. Do some mascara. I'm going to use the Huda Beauty One Coat Wow. And I think maybe like a pink or purple lip might go. So let me do all of that and then I will come back. So here's the finished look. It's a bit more than I expected to do. I just like started doing stuff. And I did a liner with a wing with my Macro Tech liquid liner from Natasha Denona. It's one of my favorite liners, but I do think I'm going to try to find some other ones. So let me know if you have any that you really like. And for lip product, I went in with the Monet Cosmetics Liquid Matte Vegan Lipstick in the shade Nardesto. It's a pretty deep purple. I actually wore it like on its own at the makeup show where I met my cousin Danessa. But today I was like, oh, this is a lot. So I went in actually with a Danessa Myricks product, her Colorfix Glaze in the shade Macaron. And what I did was I just kind of put it on top and came out with this color. Now, if you can see it, these are definitely glazes and not glosses. I feel like with glosses, they move around a little bit. The glaze doesn't. Now, it is a little tacky, it is a little sticky, but I do feel like it stays on a bit better than a gloss, but it's not going to, like, it's going to come off on your glass if you're having a drink or something. I think that's it. Oh, I like this palette. It's really cute. I really like, the best thing for me is this outer packaging, and I like the shades. I do feel, you know, if you're thinking of like seasonal palettes and stuff, I think this is a good one for, I don't know. I don't necessarily do seasonal, but I could see this working for spring into summer maybe, or summer into fall, kind of like those transitional periods. The mattes are the ones that I'm like, how does that fit seasonally? But also, the thing with Adept palettes is that you can remove the shades. They are magnetic. So, see, if you wanted to, and I really like that they have the name of the shade on the back. If you wanted to, if you have other Adept palettes, you can go ahead and switch things around and kind of create your own palettes. Do whatever you want to, actually. But I will definitely do more looks with this. I'm liking the palette. I might even combine it with the Flying Fiddles. That might be cool. I think there are some like complementary colors in terms of the matte, so that might be cool to do. So let me know if you're interested. Yeah, I think that's it. I really hope that some of this was helpful, and I really, really hope that you are taking care of yourself. Don't forget to do that. It's super important. And let me know what you think of these stories. Megan and Lord Bertie Underwood and Stanley walking up and down these stairs for 22 hours, 57 minutes, and 2 seconds. I would love it if you liked the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. And another reminder to take care of yourself in the midst of this flaming hot dumpster fire. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.